breaking development coming in. Clashes have been reported between several Indian soldiers and the Chinese troops in Arunachal Pradesh. This incident, we are told, happened on December 9th. It is first such incident since Galwan, even as talks were still on for complete de-escalation in Galwan. We now hear that a fresh round of clashes have taken place between Indian troops at the LAC with the PLA. This has happened in Tawang sector of Arunachal Pradesh. Shivani now joins me for more details. Shivani, what happened? When did it happen? What is the latest?
See, the inputs that have come up now, they say that on the night of 9th of December, this incident has taken place in Yangste, in the Tawang sector in Arunachal Pradesh, because we've seen that post-Galwan, there have been one or two incidents at different places, because India and China, they all have their area of difference of perception on various locations along the LAC, and this incident has been reported where the Indian army troops were also there and the Chinese were also there, and there was this conflict between both of them. And as we know, on these areas, both the armies and the troops of both the armies, they are on a patrol. It is a common patrolling point, and there this clash has taken place, but the army says that this has been dealt with on the local level. There were no serious injuries on both the sides, and if we talk about the sources, they say that around 500 to 600 Chinese soldiers were present at that time. So you can imagine the seriousness of this particular incident that has.
Right, Maruf Raza now joins us for more details on this. Maruf, it is going to be a big flashpoint coming after Galwan now on December 9. Do you have any details as to what could be the trigger? What kind of casualties are we likely to expect? Maruf, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go on.
There are a couple of things we need to understand. One is that the Chinese have always resorted to large force deployments to intimidate Indian soldiers. And they have been wanting to make up their reputation for the hammering they got at Galwan in 2020. So they are looking for opportunities to try and muscle their way past Indian territory. Normally the Chinese tactics is to come in force, keep coming in force till the troops on this side, that is the Indian side, pull back, and the Chinese then claim they were always there. So the territory is not something they've forcibly occupied. The second thing is the Indian side unfortunately is limited by a directive from South Bloc that we should not use weapons, but we should just look at, countering them without firing bullets. I think that policy is outdated, and that policy needs to be reviewed and changed, because Galwan clearly changed that. You cannot be fighting with an adversary like the Chinese with just pushing each other back and forward, especially so when the Chinese resort to using a whole lot of handmade weapons from spears and swords and knives and hammers. Thirdly, the Chinese have been in the past also very determined to try and lay claim on Tawang, which historically they have claimed as part of southern Tibet. India took over Tawang in 1950s by a very aggressive patrol by by a young officer from the Assam Rifles, Major, I'm forgetting his name.
I'm really sorry, Mr. Maruf Raza. I'll have to hold you on there because we are getting more details of this particular clash. What really transpired? It's over to you, Padmaja, for the details.
Yeah, so what we can confirm is that is on the 9th, there was patrolling. Now, what we have to remember in the case of Tawang is that there is no clearly demarcated border. So, regular patrolling is done by troops on both sides. Now, what happened on the 9th, we are being told, is that there was patrolling being done by both our troops as well as that of China, and they came face to face. There was a little bit of, some pushing, some exchange of words happened, and then there was a little bit of pushing. However, what we can confirm is that at this time, there is no serious injuries that have been received by troops on either side. So there was a physical altercation, what can be called dhakka mukka happened, but there was no serious injuries that are being reported at present. Subsequently, we also have had flag meeting which has been done by the Indian Army commander with his counterpart on the Chinese side. And as of right now, status quo is back. But we can confirm to you that while there was an altercation on the 9th, this happened because of differing perception as far as the LAC is concerned. No serious injuries have been received, and that subsequently a flag meeting has taken place.
Okay, do we know anything about what really happened in this flag meeting? Because as far as we know about the Eastern Ladakh dispute, that is still to be resolved. India has been kept waiting for the dates of the next round of talks, and even while that was happening, there is another flashpoint that has emerged. This is only going to make things difficult going on from here.
So this is a completely different sector from where we are talking about. The border talks that have been taking place is in the northern sector. Now we are talking about Arunachal, which is in the eastern sector. As far as this particular meeting is concerned, at that point on the 9th, immediately disengagement took place. Both sides immediately disengaged from the area. Subsequently, a follow-up meeting was held between the commanders of both sides, which was a flag meeting. And now there is peace and tranquility, quote unquote, that has been restored in the area. So as of right now, status quo is back. Back to you.
Right.